Let's face it, gaming on mobile is simply better with a controller. Hey warriors, I'm Ben, and today on Android Gamespot we'll talk about the best Android and iOS games with gamepad support. For this list I will only focus on the recent releases, and you can find even more games by the end of this video. And just a quick reminder before we begin, I publish new videos every week, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for more epic content. Number 10. The Swords of Ditto. The first thing that stands out with the Swords of Ditto are its cartoonish visuals. The game is a compact roguelite RPG where you wake up in the shoes of a hero and are tasked to explore the world while seeking the Toys of Legend, doing so to defeat the villain Mormo. The Swords of Ditto mixes in colorful graphics and a delightful soundtrack with light puzzles and simple yet challenging combat. On your quest, you'll be slashing through enemies, collecting items, meeting oddball characters, and watching the world react to your past playthroughs, which feels rewarding every time you push just a little bit further. There's nothing new here, but if you pick up the game, you'll be in for a light-hearted good game, something that not many roguelite on mobile are able to achieve. Number 9. NBA 2K20. The NBA 2K series is back with NBA 2K20, the basketball game to go to if you're looking for a realistic simulation with decent graphics and updated team rosters. But sadly, that's about the only thing that's up to date. Every year players complain of 2K's unwillingness to update their yearly series, and this one follows the same trend. With the live commentary, for example, many non-superstar NBA players aren't called by their names but their numbers instead. And even worse, the commentators call the Charlotte Hornets the Bobcats, a name that changed about 5 years ago at the time this video is being released. Still, NBA 2K20 remains a good option if you wanna get your b-ball fix on mobile. But there are other options and you can check them out in the basketball special video I made recently, linked down in the description below. Number 8. Stranger Things 3. If you've been following the Netflix hit series Stranger Things and its games on mobile, the name can be confusing as this is the second game, not the third, but it's following the events of the third season, so yeah. The visuals of the game makes it feel like you're playing a Super Nintendo game, which is a nice touch that goes along the throwback to classic 80s nostalgia that's the core of the show. And the story, without any spoilers, follows the third season events bit for bit. You play as two characters at all times, swapping between them whenever you want. And as you progress through the game, you will get to unlock a total of 12 playable characters, each with their own unique abilities. Mike and Hopper are up-close brawlers, for example, while Will is a ranged fighter. All in all, I enjoyed the game, but it does feel a little too simple, although the local co-op is a great feature. I would recommend it only if you're a fan of the show and maybe wait for a sale, as I don't think it's worth the full price tag. Number 7. Grim Valor. Coming to us from the team behind Sordigo, Grim Valor is a 2D hack-and-slash platformer out in 2019 with fast-paced combat and plenty of dungeons to explore within its dark fantasy setting. The demo takes between 1 to 2 hours to complete before you have the option to unlock the full game, which costs around $6.99, and I'll tell you right now, it's absolutely worth every cent. The RPG mechanics add yet another layer that keeps you playing as you'll be on the tail of that next level, or that next upgrade, or that next item until you finish the game and beyond. The story is the one thing that isn't really up to the standards of everything else in the game, but the graphics are gorgeous, the gameplay mechanics are some of the best I've seen in the genre, and it's a nice package altogether. Definitely a must play. Number 6. Wonder Boy. For many of us, the nostalgia is strong with this one, as Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap is the remake of the classic game originally released on the Sega Master System. And to whoever borrowed my copy of the game in the mid-90s, I want it back. Even if you have never played the classic, Wonder Boy is an absolute joy to play, especially with a controller. The game is a gorgeous looking action-adventure platformer where you will start playing as either Wonder Boy or Wonder Girl, and you can switch between the two. You would later get the ability to transform into many creatures, each best suited for a specific task. The progression is fairly non-linear and a single playthrough took me around 6 hours. This is one of the best remakes ported to a mobile, and the game just oozes charm. Kudos to Playdigest for the awesome work, and I highly recommend it because it's games like these that we mobile gamers should support instead of the shallow cash grabs that are all over the mobile play stores. Number 5. Stardew Valley. The star farming simulation finally landed on mobile in 2019, and the port is just as awesome as the PC and console versions. In Stardew Valley, you'll be tasked with rebuilding your grandpa's farm from scratch by tending to the crops and raising livestock, but the game is just as much an RPG as it is a farming simulation, and you will easily lose yourself in its universe, spending endless hours in Pelican Town's community of misfits and weirdos, fishing or beachcombing or even dungeon crawling for rare materials. The game has been tweaked for mobile, making most movements just a click away from an action. This can be both great and a tiny bit annoying. It comes down to personal preference, I guess. Stardew Valley is priced at $7.99, and for that you're getting a game that's highly addictive and with a cyclical gameplay loop in which the game runs on a calendar system where days go by and seasons change and community events happen and whatnot. You will easily lose real hours, days or even weeks of your own actual life without even noticing. This is the best farming RPG on mobile, and if you're into the genre, you must get this. Number 4. Dead Cells. Dead Cells is a Metroidvania action platformer with a roguelite aspect that's already out on iOS, with an Android release coming in 2020. The game lets you explore an ever-changing castle if you can survive the monsters in it. Everything about Dead Cells is fast and pushing you to go even faster. The music, the animations, the enemies walking around, bursting from the ground or falling down from the ceiling. You get it. The action is fast-paced and intense, with the constant permadeath threat hovering over your head. The progression is non-linear as you can take different paths with every death, and the combat system is like the Souls games, but in 2D. So expect monsters and bosses that you need to learn their patterns in order to defeat them. Needless to say, the game is hard, unforgiving, but also incredibly rewarding when it finally clicks and you kill that boss that's been taking you down over and over. All this is packaged in some awesome 2D visuals and a very pleasant soundtrack. Seriously, you need to play this. Number 3. Oddmar. As far as platform games on mobile are concerned, Oddmar is on a level of its own. The game is an incredibly fun action platformer that also happens to be one of the best looking mobile games ever made. You're in the shoes of a lazy, selfish little Viking, and you're tasked of stopping every evil in your way and becoming worthy to enter Valhalla. Oddmar takes inspiration from the giants of platforming like Rayman Origins and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and the quality of the visuals, the animations, the game flow are absolutely top-notch. From start to finish, Oddmar is an amazing experience and one hell of a game. To me, this is easily one of the best platformers on mobile. Everything about it screams of quality and good craft. This is a game that respects you as a player and doesn't take any cheap shortcuts to your wallet, and playing it with a controller makes the already awesome experience even more epic. Number 2. Call of Duty Mobile. Call of Duty Mobile landed on Android and iOS in late 2019, and fun fact if you didn't know, the game initially launched with controller support but was quickly pulled off for unknown reasons. Thankfully, with the recent update, the gamepad support has returned, and oh happy day. Well, almost, as unlike most of the other games in this list, COD Mobile only support the official PS4 DualShock 4, the second generation, and Xbox One controllers. You may get a Switch Pro controller or another third party to work, but the game will warn you that using a non-supported controller could impact the gameplay. If you do play it with other controllers, let me know in the comment section if you experience any issues. Number 1. Sky, Children of the Light. Developed by that game company, the guys behind Journey and Flower, Sky, Children of the Light takes place in the remains of a sky realm, a place once inhabited by a great civilization that had fallen for unknown reasons. You're tasked with discovering the mysteries of specific locations, and you can complete tasks by joining forces with other users, as the game was designed with multiplayer in mind, as you're walking and flying together with other players who will help protect or compete against you. The game world is constantly changing, offering new adventures and mysteries. Sky, Children of the Light is available for iPhone and iPad users. As for Android, it isn't officially released yet, but there is an early access version on the Google Play Store to get your feet wet. And that sums up the top 10 latest Android and iOS games with gamepad support. And I'm curious, what controller are you playing mobile games with? And which of these games will you play next? Let me know in the comment section down below, and of course, if you enjoyed this video, your likes are very much appreciated, and subscribing is a good idea if you haven't yet, as I make new videos like this every week. Also, special thanks to my Patreon supporters, and if you also want to support the channel to keep getting better, you can sign up for a membership on Patreon and get access to plenty of awesome rewards like behind the scenes or video shoutouts as a bonus. Also, my birthday is coming up on Christmas, so you make my day. Links to both are in the description. Once again, I'm Ben, thank you warriors for watching, and I'll see you next time, right here on Android Gamespot. Stay epic!